Absolutely.
What's up? What's up?
What's going on, everybody? It's Matt Marinoff, Real Estate Recovery Group. Our guest today is Daniel Matthew Zitofsky from Zitofsky Capital Management. He's not only a close personal friend, but he is a monster. He is a wrecking ball in the industry of trying to do things right, making money and real estate great again at all times. This video, we're going to have a couple of laughs. I think we need laughs, obviously, now with the times, what's going on worldwide with the pandemic. What the hell are you drinking, Danny? And just to make things, light of the situation a little bit, Danny and I have we've become very good friends over the last couple of years. It's definitely somebody that I would consider more like a brother. I asked him to take time out of his busy schedule because he's been going on multiple Zoom calls and going into the different private groups to the tune of how many a day are you doing?
Anywhere from 4 to 6 a day right now. Of all the people's groups and then my own stuff.
4 to 6 a day, including his own stuff. So I'm excited to have him on here. So, guys, grab a pen and pad. And if you don't have one, obviously we are in an area where there's electronics, so you can actually use your computer if you want.
Grab a crayon if you need to.
Absolutely, 100%. So, Dan, without further ado, Daniel Zitofsky. Dan, tell people that don't know who you are, who've been underneath a rock for the last 10 some odd years. Tell me a little bit about your story. We've got 60 glorious minutes to hear your disruptive voice. Go ahead.
Basically doing this business right on the 30 years now. Started back in the day and bought rental properties and then got into, I'm going to make it quick, this part of it, my life, because people don't want to hear about me. They want to know how I can help them. But I got into fix and flips. I did over 800 fix and flips. Retail fix and flips. I was doing 40, 50 of them minimum a year, netting anywhere from $50,000 to $80,000 per flip. Just really chasing money at the time. We were making multiple 7 figures on our deals, and literally almost lost my wife, my kids, because I worked so hard. That's how we came to fruition. I started doing passive income, and passive income was on rental properties, both single family and multifamilies, and seller finance notes to investors. So we became the bank. I'm a big note buyer. I deal direct with the asset managers of the banks. And to do that, I really can't do that with hard money or bank money. I have to do that with private money. So back in 2000, I'll tell you, I came through this. I've been through 2 market cycles already. This is now my 3rd. Back in 2006, 7, 8, I was in that cycle. In 2009, I believe it or not, I had 8 properties retail ready to close out to buyers, retail fix and flips. Literally the week of, the bank pulled the funding, and all those 8 deals didn't close. I also had 3 acquisitions I was doing with deposit money down that went hard. Hard money lenders backed out. I lost those deals. So essentially, I lost almost $2 million in real estate right there on the spot. And I swore in 2009 I would never let that happen to me again. And from that moment forward, I did nothing but raise private money. Since then, I've only tried one hard money lender. Just to try them out, and it became nothing but a nightmare for us. The way we do business, we move quick. We don't move conventional like everyone else. We have to close from banks sometimes in a few days. Draw schedules have to be there. We got to keep our workers working. And hard money lenders, I'm not saying all of them are this way, they control your business. They controlled my business. And I swore that at that point in 2009, I would never let that happen to me again. And from that point on, we've done over almost probably close to 3,000 deals now. We've raised private capital. We buy distressed debt from banks or sellers in emerging markets, providing better than average returns for our investors and building passive income. And I cannot do that the way I do it now, where I'm able to raise money and protect my investors and raise money at the capital, at the price point we raise it at, and the amount we raise it at, and the speed we raise it at. I can't do that with hard money lenders or banks. So I have to raise private capital. Not only do I do it, but I've been teaching. I also run Passive Wealth Academy. We founded a few years ago. I've been teaching people how to raise private capital. I do online training, and I don't do as much one-on-one training anymore because of my time. I do online trainings. We also teach people how to build a rental portfolio and how to become the bank, earning better than average returns of passive income. We also, once again, part of the book, I'll show you the book. I'm sure a lot of people here read it, Passive to Prosperous. part of the book was exactly what it says. The title is what it says: Passive Income to a Prosperous Life. And I stopped chasing money. I stopped chasing fix and flips. I stopped chasing wholesale deals because it was all transactional. I wanted to build a prosperous life where I could do what I want, when I want, how I want, anytime I want. And it might sound a little cliche, but I truly, my vision is not money motivated at all. And that's really how I live my life now. So I just summed up, like, a lot of years of what I've done. And I've done it all from wholesaling, fix and flip, multifamilies. I owned a ton of doors of multis. I don't own any multis now. I did land deals. I did development deals. I bought and sold 2 hotels. So I've been involved in, notes, seller financing, single family rentals. But I stay laser focused in really what I do. I buy, properties for rental portfolio and seller financing in emerging markets. I stick to 1 family properties right now. That's my niche in Class B to C areas that produce pretty nice, internal rate of returns for myself and my investors.
Dan, so thanks for having you on. That was an amazing elevator pitch, and good night, everybody. And no, that was perfect. I mean, that was an amazing intro. So for people that are out there in the industry right now, you and I both went through. I mean, you obviously prior, you've got at least 10, 11 years on me in real estate. But going through what had happened in 2008 was catastrophic. It really leveled people's egos. It made it so it really made people rethink their strategies. A lot of people got out of real estate. They just couldn't take it anymore. Some people might say that some people are not practicing in real estate. Now they're quote unquote just selling courses and claiming that they're gurus, but they're not really out there in the trenches. So you're obviously someone who's out there in the trenches, somebody that I personally look up to, I admire, based on what you do. It's a scary time right now because of the COVID-19, and I know that people are very upset. I know that people are very concerned what's going to happen with traditional financing, what's going to happen with hard money. Is there an opportunity to raise private capital? Obviously, pointing people in the right direction, like yourself. To me, I mean, I look at you as an enforcer in an industry, somebody who doesn't back down. I know you have I'm not going to say the actual terminology, but when people go like this all the time, and they yes you to death, but they're really they're not. It's kind of like going in one ear and going out the other. They're listening, they're hearing, they're listening, but the connection's getting somewhere blocked, I think, between the brainwave of their ear and their brain, and certain things aren't clicking. In a time like this, you knew that you had to find a better way to basically get money. You knew that you needed to find a way that kind of like, and not to sound like the slogan, but when your bank says no, we say yes. You needed always to have a yes and a green light. One thing I can say is that if something pops up as a deal and the deal doesn't make sense, but you commit to it, you move forward with it. I know that firsthand.
Unfortunately, yes.
Unfortunately, because we had worked on a transaction. The transaction didn't work out the way everybody thought it was going to be, but you kept true to your promise, and you actually did close on the short sale, which to me really impressed the shit out of me. And I appreciate the fact that when you say something, your word is your bond. And I got to tell you, there's a lot of people in this industry that actually have the follow through that you have. And the reason why I wanted to have you on today is because I felt it's important, especially now with what's going on, that people are frustrated. Funding, transactions, postponements of closings because, guidelines are changing. So Dan, why don't you, if you can, maybe walk through somebody through the process? Like what makes you think that something might make sense as a deal? And are you helping other individuals? Are you willing to partner up with other people?
Oh my God, it's funny you said that. Generally, I'm very specific. I just got off a call with a good guy, good investor. All right, Evan, his name, and he might be listening here. He hit me up, and his hard money lender pulled out of a deal. He's ready to close on 2 deals. He hit me up, and it all depends. I have to know the person. I don't bet on the horse. I bet on the jockey. I want to know who I'm partnering with. I want you involved in a deal with me. I want you being conservative in a deal. But there's a lot you said in that whole, and just now what you said in this, you made some amazing points, right? A couple I want to key in on. One is you talked about what they're hearing and what they're doing, right? There's a lot of naysayers in their head right now. They grow up and they have naysayers, right? If it's too good, what would you learn? It's too good to be true. It probably is. To make money, you got to have money. You know, success goes to success. All the caveats that people have been taught for years, either from their parents, teachers at school, the government, whatever it might be. It's put on our head that we can't be successful. So
actually, the best is you can't do that. But go ahead.
Exactly. Why? Why can't you do it? Right. So, and you say that it's funny, but when hard money lenders or banks tell you can't close a deal, well, why not? Makes sense. So going back into that, and you mentioned another thing about, a lot of people that aren't doing deals are educating. It's 100% true. And I'm not going to bash anyone that educates, because I educate. I don't like the word guru. I hate that word. I'm somebody who's in the business day in and day out in the trenches. I'm doing the business. I just, even from my mentor, I learned for a while, I didn't want to mentor other people. And he said to me, he says, you're actually being selfish by not mentoring other people. I always felt like, well, who's going to listen to me? What do I have to teach? Well, you have a lot more to teach. As long as you know a little bit more than somebody else, you can teach them what you know. All right. Don't lie. Don't blow things up. Don't make you better than you are, but you can help somebody else. So if you have knowledge, like yesterday in my group page, I did I showed some of the tricks that, I don't like to use the word tricks, but some of the steps I take to raise private money right now. And it went off the charts. People would comment. People hit me up on Messenger, text messages, phone calls. They're like, some people are getting started right away. But why is it that everybody doesn't get started right away? What is it that tells them in their head that, hey, this can't work for me? But this right now is 2009. I was in this industry, and I still remember in 2012, I had a conversation with one of my students yesterday, and he started in 2012. And I says, this is 2000. In 2012, do you remember how many people back then? Think about, Matt, when you were started in like 2005. But think about in 2012, how many people back at that time, because that's when it took to the market to really come back. How many people back then said, oh man, I wish I bought in 2008 and 9? How many of them? Everybody, right? This is 2009 all over again right now. But we're not going to take till 2012. I think we're going to take the third and fourth quarter to get back in. So private money is so important, and this is the right time to do it. And there's such a great need for it. There's so many people out there with money that don't know what to do with it because they want to bet on the jockey, not the horse, like I just talked about. Yes, I'm open to partnering with people on certain deals, but it has to be the right person in the right deal. And I have to feel like they have skin in the game with me, right? I have to feel like we're going to battle together on this. But I don't open it up because I know what happens if I say that. I literally get every single day, if I don't have 5 requests for money right now, I don't have 0. Because every hard money lender out there that they've gone to is pulling their loans. All these so-called private lenders that they met at these RIA events or meetup groups, they're all real estate investors. They're scared. They're pulling the money. You have not done your homework. You have not done the legwork to meet good private lenders out there. And I did one in my group page. I literally gave one tactic that I use out of all the tactics. And one of my students has literally right now over 800 potential private lenders, 800. He doesn't have them. He has to reach out to them. The other one has 2,100 potential private lenders.
How many?
2,100. If you look at Z and Awana, she's in our group, you'll see that they're doing the work. Now they have to reach out to them because a lot of people say, great, you teach us how to raise private money, but I don't know how to find people. Well, do the work. I'm showing you how to do. I show people how to do the work. And you know what? I put so much content out there for free. But the problem is people, they don't value free. It's just a shame. Because I literally I can give the roadmap from A to Z how to raise private money. And less than 10% of the people will actually take action.
Where's the napkin?
Oh, you like those napkin presentations, huh? Here we go. Here's the napkin. Here's one of the napkin presentations right there. It's a whiteboard present. That's what goes on a napkin.
Yep.
Those things are signed. They're limited edition. People do have. It's crazy that our friend Neil, Lisa, you know them. They actually have it framed and in their office. It's so cool. And he told me that. I didn't think it was such a big deal. And then Jeremy hit me up. He still has his, and all these people. But I don't. And then I was like, you know what? I got to stop doing these napkin presentations because they're not going to mean anything if everyone has one. But it's so important right now to take action today on building your business. Because if you don't build your business right now for private money, you're out. I can guarantee you're out of business because you're only going to be controlled by third parties. You're going to be controlled by hard money lenders and banks. And when you let hard money lenders and banks control your business, you're doomed. And also, so someone said they love napkin deals. Also, you can't maneuver. When I raise money for 3 to 5 years, interest only, I can weather a storm like this. You know, I could cover my note. I could take care of my lenders. So you need to build your business now for the future. You don't wait. You know, for years I've been talking about raising private money. I've been teaching it for years. You know, and a lot of people have taken action on it. But there's so many who haven't. Just watch what I do. Watch me buy properties. They see we buy pools of assets from the banks. They see we close on deals like short sales. I'm not able to close on a short sale like the one we did with a bank or even a hard money lender. It just wouldn't work. Mm-hmm. I mean, the deal would not work with a hard money lender. I'd have to be in and out. I'd have to wait for their draws. Look at the situation we're in now. Now we're going to be delayed, right? So I have to pay the hard money lender back. I'd be up Craps Creek right now. So it just doesn't work, right? For me, it's too much stress, too much pressure. And what if we were about to close on a short sale and the hard money lender said, sorry, we're not funding the deal because Wall Street pulled our money. Now I'm screwed. So I know I'm able to close any single deal I get involved in because I can go to one of my private lenders and they all, out of 42 private lenders I have, I don't have the most. There's people with hundreds, right? I have 42 that have been active. They're not all active at all times. But I could put an email out to any one of them, and out of the 42 of them, somebody's always going to be able to fund my deals. And I could always raise a couple $1 million at any given time. That was 42. And if I had to get more, I'd just go out and keep marketing myself to get more.
But then one thing I know that people are going to ask, and we can open up the questions at 12:30 in the next 10 minutes. But one of the questions I'm sure people are going to ask is, do you need a special license to do what you do?
Absolutely not, because we're doing commercial, right? So I'm not talking about commingling funds. If you commingle funds and you're doing a fund, which is a private placement memorandum and a reg filing, whether it's Reg B, C, D filing, you're going to want to work with an SEC attorney and create that PPM documentation. And that will probably run you in the range, depending on what you're doing, from $15,000 to $30,000 to do that. No, we are in states. Now, I should say this. Certain states are starting to implement licensing rules in place. Like Georgia has one. Ohio is starting to implement one. Illinois is starting to implement one. So do I think that licensing will have to be put in place? Yes, you'll have to file licensing. You'll probably have to get a surety bond, which is not a big deal. If it is, good. You'll get rid of the junk in the industry. And they want people that are professional, people that are ethical. They do ethical business, not these fraudsters out there saying, give me $5,000 down and then I'll fund your deal. And they take the $5,000 and they run, right? So that's why it's so important, right? I see, and here's the other thing, guys, please don't do this. And I see educators doing this too. It drives me insane because you're teaching your people how to do it wrong. If anyone's watching, don't ever put on Facebook, will you fund my deal? This is the deal. This is the ARV. This is the rehab. Don't put that out there. One is the SEC that's a low-hanging fruit the SEC is looking for right now. My SEC attorney and I talk about this all the time. It's like I waste money laughing with her about it, how stupid people are. They're hitting people for $50,000 loans. SEC's hitting you, and it's going to cost you a minimum of $10,000, and you're probably going to get yourself in trouble to fight that. Do not do it. You don't have a relationship with them. You don't have all your disclosures. You're publicly raising money. And I see educators doing it. It's driving me absolutely insane. And I used to hit people up, but people get really nasty when you tell them, hey, listen, I would be careful doing this. They're like, well, I could do it. All right, do whatever you want. I'm just telling you this. Make sure if you're going to do something like that, you have an SEC. First of all, you should have an SEC attorney on your team no matter what, right? Because you want them to make sure that your paperwork's proper. Because here's the thing: if you raise money, they're going to be the ones that defend you when you're sitting in front of a judge and he's looking at sentencing you to time in federal prison. So you want to make sure that they're going to defend you and that they give you the sign of approval that says, hey, good job. You could do that. You could post that. If you notice here, I haven't even talked about how much I raised money for, because I'm not going to publicly say how much I raised money for, even though I'm allowed to, because I'm not out here raising money from this group, right? But I'm very careful in what I say because I have to be, because I have an SEC attorney and I want to follow the rules. The other thing is, who do you think my investors are out there watching Facebook and saying, oh, Matt Maridoff, I want to invest in his deal? The people that have big money are not on Facebook. They're not going to trust you if you're putting a public announcement that, hey, I have a deal for 50 grand. It needs 20,000 to work. It's worth 150. Who wants to partner with me? Who wants to invest in me? Who wants a guaranteed return? If everyone's telling you guaranteed return, I say run, don't walk. But
I laugh at those posts when they say guaranteed return.
I know. Well, this is the people right now that can't raise money. Those are the people that are having problems because they didn't build a business. So I'm saying right now, if that's you, or even if you, it's even better if you're brand new and you haven't done anything, do right now, build yourself a business. You know, come out as a professional. Be better than everybody else out there. Work on your paperwork. Work on your bio. Work on your presentation. You know, don't just slap crap against the wall and hope it sticks. Don't just say, hey, Dan, you want to fund my deal for $100,000. I know nothing about it. I don't have pictures. I don't have comps. I don't have the scope of work. I don't have a draw schedule. I don't have who you are, what you're doing, why you're buying there, who's on your team. I know nothing about you. I don't know our exit strategy. I don't know what paperwork you're looking to put in place to protect me. That's how you build a relationship with people, not just, hey, can you fund my deal? You know, if your deal was so good, listen, your investors will want to fund it. You wouldn't even need to go to Facebook and ask for help.
What would you say to somebody who's watching this, who's newer in the industry, a year, 2 years, and thinking about, you know, going after properties, not wholesaling anymore, and want to actually, you know, build a portfolio? What type of advice would you give somebody like that?
Treat this like a business. First things first, treat it like a business. Put a team in place. If you're going after properties, what kind of properties are you going after? If it's, you know, potential short sales, have a short sale team in place. You know, if it's in a different area, make sure you have a realtor in place that can give you comps if you're not a realtor, right? Get real comps. Make sure you have attorneys. Make sure you have title companies. Make sure you start working on private money. You build private. Hard money is not private money, guys. These hard money guys are controlled, most of them, by Wall Street. Some of them are not controlled by Wall Street, but they're still going to limit what they can do. I'm here now. Hard money lenders are now, instead of funding, you know, 65 or 70%, they're down to 60%, but they're making you put 12 months payments in reserves.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Right? It's nuts. It's nuts. I mean, it protects them, which I understand and I agree with them, but it's nuts for you as a business person. If you would just go out and raise private money the right way, you can control your deals. Close like this, you don't have to worry about a hard money lender giving you a hard time. You don't have to worry about a hard money lender holding your drawers up. You don't have to worry about a hard money lender when you put in for a $20,000 draw, they say, no, you're only getting $5,000. I mean, I've heard it all. You don't have to. Here's the other thing. If you're going to lend private money, you need to learn the paperwork too. You need to learn how to be a lender, right? Because I just got a message from somebody saying, I lent somebody money, they didn't pay me back, and they sold the property. Now I don't have any. Now I didn't get my money back. Well, how do they do that without the proper legal paperwork? The problem is, this is what's going around. It's the cavalry. It's the wild, wild west out there. And if you learn how to be a little different than everybody else, stop taking the. It's all about the get rich quick scheme, right? Or to take the diet pill and we're going to lose 100 pounds in 30 days. I mean, I don't have 100 pounds to lose, Matt. I don't know about you, but I'm a thin guy.
Why are you calling me out?
But that's what it's about these days. Nobody wants to do the work anymore. Like, right. Nobody wants to do the work. I mean, I see you guys doing it too. You guys are crushing it. You're working 14, 15 hours a day. And
right now is absolutely insane right now.
We're going to get so much busier. I can't wait to have you on our group tomorrow, do an interview with you guys tomorrow. You're going to be so much busier because, once again, everybody wants the easy way out. The government says you don't have to pay the mortgage for 3 months. They think they're just going to get away with free money. I mean, it's crazy. I'm telling you right now, this is why this time is so important, because all your private lenders are probably sitting home right now working from home, right? Or not working. All you're doing is sitting home right now, most people, right? Other than the essential employees, which like thank God for the healthcare workers and the truckers. I mean, thank God, these are true heroes right now.
Absolutely.
And the first responders, cops, firemen, EMS. Thank God for them. Right? The people at the supermarkets that are keeping that open, the truckers. But if not, you're sitting home right now. This is a time where we're all, including myself, I'm really sharpening the razor on my business. I'm figuring out, what have I done wrong? What can I do better? What did I want to put in place that I didn't put in place before? We've done webinars. We've done webinar after webinar, not only for our members, our students, our investors, right? Our potential investors, our lenders, our potential lenders, but we've done them for new people wanting to get in. We've put a ton of free content where we always want to put some more content out. We're just so busy in doing what we're doing. We haven't put all that free content out, but we put it out there now. We're like, you know what? Here, go out and do it. We did a webinar. I laid out step by step in my webinar how you could raise private money. I didn't give you all my paperwork and everything because it was a free webinar, but you could put it together yourself. And then in my group, I literally laid out some of the steps I do to find potential private lenders. Now, are they going to give you money? No, you got to work at it. You got to build a rapport with them. But I told you exactly how to do it. But who's going to do the work? Or are you going to sit there and watch Netflix or watch the news or watch everybody doom and gloom on Facebook saying everyone's going to die from coronavirus, right? You could choose to do two things in this world right now. You could either be doom and gloom and live in misery and join all the misery on Facebook or Fakebook as you call it, or you could actually put your business and personal affairs in order right now and come out of this and build generational wealth, because there's going to be such a transformation in wealth going on this year. And like I said, this is not a 3-4 year thing. This is literally going to be like third and fourth quarter. There's going to be a bloodbath out there of properties. And if you can't scoop up on them, and I hate to say we're going to take advantage, we're not taking advantage, but it's going to be there. People are going to be losing their houses. All these wholesalers that over offered on houses now that can't close. These sellers are up Schitt's Creek really right now.
No, they are.
I mean, I've already had wholesalers calling me, sellers calling us back saying, can you still buy our house? Well, now our offer came way down because now what's happened, okay? It's just we lowered our offer now. We're just not going to pay 70% minus rehab. Now we might go down to 50% minus rehab because we know the numbers are changing about 20% on ARVs right now. So there's going to be a bloodbath out there, guys, and you need to be ready. Don't expect hard money lenders. I don't care what they tell you. Don't expect them to be there for your business. Don't expect banks to be there for your business. Now, banks are still there. Your local, certain banks, depending on what you're doing, hard money lenders are still there depending on what you're doing. But do you really want to put your whole business model in the hands of somebody else making that decision for you? That's the bottom line.
So, listen, everything that you're talking about makes sense. Anybody who's watching, and I see people are clicking out and what have you, on Facebook, so thinking back to when I started in the industry, going forward now, how many people had, taken my class on short sales and took it to a whole new level? I'm actually inspired looking back at some of these people that actually took my class or my classes or the private training and seeing what they utilize it for. In the past, I tried to help as many people as I could. I did a ton of pro bono work. Just can't do that type of stuff anymore. The industry yet again has changed. People always say about, it's forever changed. The market always changes. And I was going over a timeline and I showed it to my wife, Mary, and she said, you can't go live with this and talk about this stuff because there's a lot of hard truths on there as far as, the last, let's say 10 years of, what had happened or what had popped up that would consider being a crisis. The things that should be on Facebook now should be uplifting, should be, things like this, you and I talking about a craft that you built out of necessity because you basically got caught with your pants down and you didn't know what to do. I mean, when you get spanked and you lose, in a matter of, what was it, a week or two, transactions supposed to close. How much was it? $2 million?
6 weeks, so about $2 million I lost.
You know,
No, I made it work. I mean, I lost the deals I was into
Right.
to buy because I lost my deposit, and the hard money lenders. I had no way to get the money at that time, so I lost those 3 acquisitions. But the 8 sales I had, they didn't close. So I wound up turning them into rental properties,
Right.
losing a couple $100 at least a month on each of their properties for probably 3+ years on those. Because what was I going to do? I owned those properties. I had it. I had no choice. I couldn't sell. They were closing. They were all in escrow to close.
Yeah.
So I had no choice. So I think that's the best way you learn things. And I always talk to my students about it too. And I talk to investors. I'm like, it's okay to screw up. Just learn from it. And I know it sounds like, your parents tell you this, but it is. The only way I would have learned that raising private, because it's so much easier to just call a hard money lender and say, hey, could you fund my deal 100%? They were giving 100% financing out recently, purchase and rehab. They were giving everything, right, for ridiculously low rates. It was stupid not to call them. But in my head, I still didn't deal with them because I knew that I cannot go back. I cannot take the easy way out and go back to a hard money lender, because if I got rid of all my private lenders and stopped using them, well, then I'm stuck. And I knew we all knew this was coming. We didn't know. We knew the economy was due for a correction, right? Everybody has a crystal ball. Everyone's the Buddha out there rubbing that crystal ball. And for the last 3 years, all I heard is market's going to correct, market's going to correct, market's going to correct. We knew it was coming. We didn't know it was going to happen like that in a week's period of time. And we didn't know it was a pandemic that was going to cause it. Now, the good and the bad about that is we were expecting that. We should have prepared accordingly, right? 2 is this is the pandemic that is causing this. I think when this goes away, I think I don't think it's the economics that caused this. I believe, I'm not this gloom and doom guy that you'll see on Facebook. I believe that the economy is going to come back. I don't believe this is an economic disaster. I believe it's a pandemic disaster. Once people feel safe enough to go out of their house and hang around people, businesses will be right back. And stock market will start bouncing back. I don't know if it'll get to where it was, but it was overinflated anyway. And real estate will be there. I'm still seeing retail houses selling for over asking price. I'm not a realtor, but I'm involved in some deals in different markets, and I'm watching comps, and they're selling in 3 to 5 days for over asking price. So that's still a good market. Realtors are doing a phenomenal job showing properties. They're adapting, right? They're adapting. They're definitely adapting to the environment. Like some realtors, same thing with realtors. If you become a different realtor today, you're going to be the best there is. You're going to be the top 20% of realtors in the future. If you're a realtor that just puts your head in the sand and says, "Oh, I was screwed. We can't do anything. We're not allowed to show houses," well, then you're going to come out of this and you're going to go look for another job. Okay, so it's like anything else. I back in 2009, I swore at that point I will never use hard money, and I tried it once. I tried it one time recently. And it was the biggest nightmare because it's not the way I work. This was not, maybe it's my fault, but I don't work the way the hard money lenders want you to work. I don't use their insurance companies. I don't fit into their box. I do change orders constantly on my properties depending on what's going on. I don't want to have to worry about my draw schedules. So I had to go back and I beat myself up for even trying because I wasted tons of money trying to use this hard money lender. And I'm not going to say who it is, but not that I hate them. It's just, it's not my business model. It's not for me. I'm not a good fit for them. They're not a good fit for me because I could raise money. And I did the work to raise money. And it didn't take me a lot of work, guys. It doesn't take a lot. It just takes you doing the work. And I teach you exactly how to do it. It's not like I don't show you. And you don't have to pay for it. I can't work with you one-on-one for free, but I put content all the time out there. It's just, you can watch my content, then you go watch somebody else's, and you watch somebody else's, and you don't ever build a business. You got to figure out who you are, right? If I want to learn short sales, right, I'm not going to go to a short sale. I'm not going to go to your page, Short Sale 101, and then go to a wholesaling page, and then go to a fix and flipping page. I'm going to learn short sales. 100% focus my business on short sales. That's what I'm saying. If you want to build this business, you need to learn private money. If you don't learn private money, I don't make a lot of guarantees. I guarantee you this. Come to me by the end of the year and tell me if you're still in business. You're not in business. You're definitely not in business. There's no way you're going to be in business if you don't learn how to raise private money because you won't be closing deals. So who's going to be closing deals? Guys like me that have the private money, and we're going to be calling the shots. So I'm going to be able to get deals for whatever I want because you're not going to be able to get them. because you won't be able to have money because you're waiting on hard money lenders or banks. So you choose to do what you want to do right now these next 3 months, and it'll set you apart for a lifetime. I can promise you this. This is 2009, and even better than 2009 all over again. Because 2009, they weren't doing what they're doing now with forbearances and all this crap that you're going to deal with. You guys are going to deal with that when we come out of this.
Do you think that the reason for, and guys, please ask questions. We've got time. This is the time. We've got Dan Zitofsky. You can ask him whatever you want.
You know what happens, Brett? I do these interviews, webinars, and I get afterwards, I got 30, 40 messages that day from people asking me questions. Like, I think they're scared to ask them. I don't know why they're scared to ask them here in a group.
That's fine.
This is why I'm doing this. I'm doing this literally. I'm not selling you anything in here. There's no pitch at all. I want to help Matt's group. I want to help you guys because, especially if you guys are looking to do short sales, buy short sales, you need private money. I mean, you need to close. You know, the banks are not going to like say, okay, you can have another 30 days if that hard money lender did not come through. You lose your money. You lose the deal. I mean, it happened before. It's going to happen way more coming in fruition. I mean, I'm constantly seeing Matt and Leah put things out on Facebook. It's like, hey, we have a deal in this place who has a buyer because the buyer fell out. That's going to happen a lot more. And I can almost, I'm not going to speak for you, Matt, but I'm almost going to guarantee that you're really going to pay some attention to people's proof of funds in the future before you start working for them.
So there's actually a lot of things that we look at. I'm a firm believer on prior preparation prevents piss poor production. So when I see some of the approval letters that come over or it's brought to my attention, I have no problem calling people out. It's garbage. We look at, some of these websites that are out there right now, guaranteed proof of funds or whatever. There's different like sites that you could go on. It's like it's a template. It's a plug and play. They're fake proof of funds. I don't know how business like that stay in business. I know that they do like transactional funding. Some of these companies. There's a lot of variables out there that I've looked at. I mean, Dan, you and I joked about it years ago, saying that if big banks brought you and I in there, we could probably clear out a ton of shit. Especially, having somebody like Leah working side by side with us, looking through files that potentially could be fraudulent, and get a yes or no on something and just get rid of it and keep it moving. So people, I think, 2012. So 2007 to, I'll say, 2010, there's a ton of people that were, in the industry. That people had left. They went on to sell creams, oils, coins, all different things. Was it the electronics, electricity, whatever it was. They were looking for other forms of source of income. And I don't see anything wrong with that. I've been doing this for 15 years full time. I've just
have a full head of hair.
What's that?
I said, you used to have that full head of hair. You probably had hair like me back 15 years ago. If I did short stuff,
see, there's a scar right here, right? My hairline used to be before the scar.
That was before short sales. That was PS, and now it's AS. Pre-short sale, after.
Right. and now it's called FUBAR.
Guys, we can't keep it serious for a full hour.
But you know what, though? In all sincerity, if you think about it, most people in real estate itself, there's two trains of thought. And anybody who says differently, I'm going to disagree with them on the spot. Whereas people look at they're afraid of failure, or they're afraid of success. And the reason being is because most people, for whatever reason, weren't, nurtured as a child or an individual, told that they can do stuff.
Sure.
Go get a job. You get a part-time job in high school or school. Go to college. You don't have a chance to go into to college, get in the military, get a grant, go to college, get out of college, go work for a big company. everything is always geared towards helping individuals get a job. There was never any real training for people like, Dan and me, as far as people that want to be, entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs.
Got it, Matt. We came in this industry before we had even Facebook, before we had these webinars. I wish I had this growing up. I can't even imagine where I would be if I had something like this. If I had some people, I could just literally, you could just log on and see, like, there's experts in every vertical that you're in. You just got to decipher who's an expert and who's not, who's there to sell you something, who's there. Like the stuff we're doing, we're not making money right now. I could really spend an hour calling all my investors right now, raising money. I could call banks, see what they have available, and I can close deals. Or I could spend an hour, closing people on mentorships, right? But we're doing this because we're putting stuff out there for you. I really want to know, like, if people are listening, they could ask questions right now while I'm on. What is your biggest challenge right now with raising private money? Because that's really what we got to get to, right? We can make this a whole webinar on mindset, right? And I love, like, my passion is teaching mindset and vision and stuff like that. But what is people's biggest issue right now in raising private money?
Here's a question that came in. Can you explain what is the option for people that take 401k without fees? Will they have monthly payments?
Okay, and this is good. It's during the coronavirus episode. I don't know when people are going to watch this, but right now they have an option that you could take out. You want to check this with your custodian. You want to check this with your accountant, because I'm not either of those. But obviously, I learned about this because I need to present this to my investors. You could take out up to $100,000 right now from your 401k, self-directed IRAs, for up to 3 years. Now, you will have to pay that money back. It's not just take it out and use it on something else. So I'm very careful about touching anything in your retirement account to take it out and use it for anything other than investing, right? So yes, you will have to pay. It's not tax-free on the money you make. And it's basically a loan that you have to pay back within 3 years, but definitely check. That's an option out there. I'm very careful even telling people to do that. So if you need the money because you want to go out and pay your bills, if you can't afford them, there's no other way you could afford them. That's an option for you. But once again, great question, whoever asked that. Definitely check with your custodian, either your self-directed IRA, solo 401k custodian, and check with your accountant, because you want to make sure how that's going to affect you. But yes, you can't just take it out and not pay it back. It has to be paid back in 3 years, or it will be an early withdrawal and you'll suffer all those penalties. Good question, though. Thanks for asking.
I'm actually looking to see. I am not sure why my link with StreamYard is not allowing me to put the people's questions on here. Actually, put their names. If anybody has any other questions, please.
Yeah, I'm sure you have questions because everywhere I'm speaking, everyone's hitting me up and they're saying, "How do you raise money right now?" Investors are scared. They're not. The stock market went down. They don't want to pull their money in the stock market. Just give me your questions, right? Because I want to answer them for you all here. This guys, once again, I'm not selling you anything. I'm going to answer your questions. I'm going to put you on a path that you could get off this call right now and you can start taking action today to build your passive investor list today. There's no reason to wait. You need to do this immediately. Okay? There's no time to wait. What do you need? What are you having trouble with? Because if I'm not seeing questions, I'm imagining everyone here has no problem raising private money, and I hope that's the case, because then Matt will love you guys when all the short sales are coming third and fourth quarter. He's going to be working on short sales. He's going to need buyers. So I'm sure that's, he's going to love you guys to have private money. Make his life a lot easier. Close deals.
A little bit. Dan, I'm shocked. Apparently nobody has a question.
No, listen. We're here for them. If they want help, we're helping. Guys, if you're realtors, you want to know this. You want to help your investors. If you're if you want to help your investors out with 401ks, how about this? How many of you guys know business owners? Okay, you should be talking to them and educating them. You should be the expert to them. You should be a connector, right? So you should have no, people that are scared to invest in real estate deals, they're scared because they don't trust you or the deal. Okay, there's two reasons they don't invest. They don't trust you in a deal. If they trust you to invest in a deal, that's huge. If they trust the deal because you presented it the right way, that's huge. So I hear a lot of times people tell me, hey, my investor's a little scared. They were going to start investing with me, but they held off because the stock market went down. Well, that's a totally that is ridiculous if you're telling me that, because what does we have to do have anything to do with the stock market? Now, if you're only working with somebody that has money in the stock market and you tell them to sell it, yeah, that's not the right thing to tell them to do. You're not being a fiduciary. You're not working in their best interest. And when you chase dollars instead of chasing, relationships with people, or what do you say, Matt? People before profits. That's truly not. That's 100% where I tell people you're ridiculous. Stop using scare tactics with stock market to get investors in. If people are invested in stock market heavy right now, don't tell them to sell to invest in real estate, because the market's slow. It's going to come back. But you got to think about it. The people I work with a lot of doctors, some dentists. I work with an auto auctioneer. I work with a couple of veterinarians. I work with a lot of business owners. They don't invest in the stock market. They don't want to sit there and bother buying low, selling high, buying options and puts and calls. They're not into that, okay? They just want to put their money in something that's pretty conservative, nothing's guaranteed, pretty conservative, that they get a decent return, better than average returns that they're getting from banks, CDs, and they don't want their principal to be lost. That's really the people you want to go after, right? Not somebody who's trading stocks on a daily basis that knows what they're doing. That's their gig. Let them do that, okay? So you're playing the dirty waters. Stop going to the Rio events. Stop going to these meetup events with a bunch of investors. All those things are good for is to hang out and have some laughs and fun. Matt will tell you, I don't think we've ever gone to an event where I actually tried to raise money at the event. I don't do it. People come up to me when I present my deals, how I do my deals, and they always say, how can I fund your deals? How can I partner with you? And I'm like, yeah, I'm not the right guy, because you're looking to make way too much money, and I don't provide those kind of returns for my investors.
Dan, let's talk about that for a second, because that's a very good point. What about people that are unrealistic in their returns? What about people that are realistic in their returns? Give us an example. Let's talk to somebody about that's living a pipe dream, and somebody who's in reality, as far as you're concerned, somebody you would want to do business with.
Well, right now, anyone that's like, I don't touch a deal unless I see 20% return on my money, or they're looking to get rich quick, or they're looking to me to take high risk to make high rewards. That's not the investor. I mean, I've done that with my money. I'm not willing to jeopardize somebody else's money doing that. People that are, like I talked about, people are like, listen, the last thing they even ask me is, what kind of return do I get on my money? That's the last thing they even ask me. They're asking me what I'm doing, who's on my team, where I'm investing my money, okay, how I'm protecting them, what happens when you die, what happens when you get divorced, what happens when you get hit by a train. They didn't even ask me how much they're getting returned. How do I get paid? How often do I get paid back? Is it monthly, quarterly, yearly? At the end of the deal, how do you pay back? Okay. Then at the end, it's like, well, what kind of return can I make on my money? What should I expect? That's the last thing they're concerned about, because they're more concerned about protecting and conserving their capital and who they're investing. I want them to invest with me. I want them to, we're family. My investors, my 42 investors I have, whether they do deals with me or not at this present time, we're constantly, I've already reached out to every one of them. We've spoken to every one of them already. We've spoken to some of them numerous times. We just paid someone back $400,000 the other day. His next question was, do you have anything for my money right now, or are you waiting? That was his next question. Okay, so they want money back in play, all right, because they trust you. So I like the relationship game. I like building a rapport with people. Just like when I buy a house from a seller, I like building the rapport. If you're going to go to me because I'm the highest priced offer, I'm probably not the right person for you. If you're going to want to work with me because somebody's going to give you 10%, I'm going to give you 12, I don't want to work with you. Just not, I don't need to. This is not I don't want to stress myself out. And it's my program. I want a relationship, right? I want you to understand that I'm going to do the best I could do for you. You're not going to micromanage me. You're not going to make me go into risky deals to try to get you these crazy returns. And the problem is, when you deal with active real estate investors, most of them are making 20, 30% on their money because they're active. So why would they want to lend me money at less than, at single digits? Doesn't make sense. So stop playing in those murky waters. Stop hanging out. Stop being an event goer. I call these guys the event goer, the webinar masters. What's his name? I was on a webinar the other day being interviewed, and the guy called him almost like an addiction. I forgot the term he used. like a webinar addiction or something. People just, they think they're crushing it because they show up at every event and they sit in the front. Every event you see them at, and you'll talk to them for years and they're still going to every event because it's their night out with their friends, or they feel like, I'm a real estate investor, I'm this big tough guy, or they have an ego. They want to walk in the room and everybody's like, oh, that's that guy. And they all come up to you. Like, I like being the dumbest person in the room. That's my goal. Like, I like going, I really do. And it's not hard for me, right?
No, it's not, Dan.
Definitely not hard, right? I like going to.
I've been in the Waffle House with Dan at 3 o'clock in the morning in Tennessee, so I know that.
That is no joke. That is no joke. You went to an event. We did an investor meeting there. That was really good.
Yeah, it was.
Now we're in Tennessee. That was great. But I like going to events that I'm not surrounded by a bunch of real estate investors. Like my best money raising event was at an art birthday party at an art museum. So my students do it with, car shows. I'm into boating, right? So I'm part of a yacht club. I don't have a yacht, but I'm part of a yacht club. I'm part of a fishing organization with senior citizens. Senior citizens community body. They have a fishing organization. I go every summer. I go on at least 1 or 2 trips with them. What do you think we talk about on those trips? I'm into wine. Go to wine clubs, cigar clubs, fishing clubs, boating clubs. If you're into antique cars, go to those. Those are the places where you raise money. Special group on Facebook. I'm not in the groups like all these real estate groups saying, hey, who wants to fund my deal? What I do is I provide content, right? I talk about what I'm doing. I don't ask. I talk about it. I educate. I show people. I show them the expert rather than telling them I'm the expert. That makes sense to you guys.
Yeah, I mean, Dan, everything you're saying makes sense. I'm a little shocked that people don't have more questions for you.
That's good. That means they have it. They got all the private money they need.
I guess they don't need you.
Well, they're watching Netflix right now. Netflix and was it hashtag Netflix and chill? What do they say?
Netflix and chill. It's funny you bring that up. So during this time frame, there's probably going to be a tremendous amount of divorce. Divorce rate's going to go skyrocket.
Do you know why? Do you know why? I'm sorry to interrupt, but it's funny. You know why?
Divorce, yeah, because they didn't know their spouse, and now they know them. They're with them. They hate them.
I heard a better story.
What's that?
Donna told me a better story. Because now all the spouses are stuck with their spouses, and they can't get out to see their girlfriends or boyfriends.
Well, that was my next thing.
That's actually came out. That's like real. Like,
no, 100%.
Isn't that nuts?
Yeah, well, that was my next thing I was going to say. The fact that they're so sick of hanging with their spouses, and the fact that they can't get out there, and they're worried about catching the coronavirus with their significant others.
You're modest, they go.
Yeah, but it's true though. So divorce rate's going to be high. Interesting that your wife actually brought that up to you about having, I guess, extracurricular activities. So you might want to track her phone, Dan.
Well, I think she did it to make sure. No, if you know Dawn, she would have me sliced up. And listen, I tell you this, I'm very blessed about this. You know that you're blessed too with your wife. I see what some of my friends go through. I see what they're on second, third marriages. I'm married. Literally, I'll be almost 20 in November. It'll be 29 years. I'm blessed. I love spending time with her. We still have a great time. We have not killed each other during this whole epidemic and this house arrest.
Uh-huh.
We're actually having
house arrest, but go ahead.
We're actually having a pretty good time with it, and I do miss getting out, but it's like we're having a good time. I couldn't imagine being miserable with your spouse right now, being stuck at home with them. Or I feel bad for the people that are by themselves, that are lonely, by themselves. Yeah. We got wife, we got kids. You got a whole family in the house, so these are the things. Yeah, I look at, and I'm looking at the positive in this.
I got a whole tribe in my house right now.
You do. You're like the king. You're like King Alpha over there. Yeah. But you know what? You can make this a good time or a bad time. It's up to you.
Right. Exactly. Totally but it is true. So there are going to be a lot of divorces. There's going to be a ton of pregnancies. There's going to be people that got pregnant that were like, "Oh my God, I didn't think I could get pregnant." during this time because there's nothing else you can do. So just keep trying and practicing until you get it right. I don't know.
Good investment is like Johnson and Johnson and Pampers. Come December, or put your money into like labor and delivery somehow.
What is going on with Corona, the drink, right now?
Oh my God! I heard they wanted to pay somebody $15 million to change the name. Dude, how many people are going to name their kid Corona?
Well, didn't they already name somebody COVID and Corona?
That's going to be a popular name.
COVID.
Yeah, we could start it. We could trademark the name.
COVID. I like that.
COVID Corona.
Or they would be named CC.
Yeah. Well, we joke about this, but man, people got to take care of yourself. Be cognizant, stay inside. Like, don't treat this like it's a joke. Because you might.
You absolutely 100% have to do your part out there, and if that means sitting on your ass. I mean, look, could you imagine right now if Johnny got called up into active enrollment for going into the military, and he actually had to get deployed, or they could say, Johnny, you sit in your house for 2 weeks on the couch and you don't have to go anywhere. That's all they're really asking is for people to stay home and distancing themselves. And it's a shame. You see a ton of people out there that are not doing it.
They train spring break. It's horrible. I mean, I'll be honest. When this first started, I've always been the type that I'm not a good rule follower, like that kind of stuff. It's like, why? Nothing's going to happen to me.
Right.
But I'm seeing it happen to people close to me that I know, or friends, that kind of thing. So like once removed. And here's the thing, God willing, I'm healthy. God forbid I get it, or we're okay. But if I'm out there and I give it to somebody else that's not healthy, like that's just an ignorant and selfish thing to do, and that's just what I'm going to do. So I could protect myself as best I possibly could, and that's what I do. But I can't control what I can't control. I could just control what I can control. So when I go out, we go for a walk. That's it. We don't go around other people. Our friends, we don't get together with them. We don't go golfing. We're not going to restaurants. We're not doing any of that stuff. We're listen, we're doing our part because do I believe we'll be okay? God forbid we get it. I do. But I'm not going to jeopardize somebody else and be selfish about it. And I just see people as so selfish right now. It's weird. It's like, either they clean out the grocery stores and they only care about themselves, or they're out there just like, I'm going to have a good time. I don't care what the government tells me to do. I'm not going to listen to them because it's not martial law and I have rights, but your rights can kill somebody. So like, I just, and I don't talk about politics, like side Republican or Democrat. I don't care. This is not this is a bipartisan thing. This is a human being. We're all human beings. We need to look out for each other. And it's just crazy how many people aren't looking out for each other. How many people are going to a supermarket with a family of 5, right? And you poor people in the supermarket have to, that's an essential position. They have to work to provide food for you. And they're taking this home to their family. And you're coming with a family of 5 hanging out like it's spring break because you don't want to sit in your house because you don't want to make it hard on yourself, but you're going to put them at risk. That's what's disgusting. That's really disgusting. But, guys, if you do what's right now, we'll come out of this ahead. We'll come out of it quicker. If you don't, I feel like we're like in the schoolyard. We're getting punished for what everyone else is going to do.
Exactly. Dan, I really I appreciate you coming on. I appreciate you giving some of your insight into the private sector, raising private capital. I truly believe that, you are an innovator in the industry. And if maybe just one person reaches out to you and has additional questions or decides if they want to possibly learn from somebody like yourself, to me, then, this live was a success. I'm offering this every day, Monday through Friday. We are bringing people that actually offer true value, people that are leaders in the industry. And we've got more to come for following weeks. I'm booking now into week 3, believe it or not.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm now going out. I'm in the 3rd week right now. I'm hoping by the end of this week, I'll have the month completely booked up, 12 o'clock every single day on my Facebook page, trying to just bring value.
I love what you're doing.
Yeah, bring value and clarity, and let people, come on. This is like basically this is people's lunch hour. If you want to spend it with me, great. If you find that I'm annoying, obnoxious, then I'm absolutely doing my job. If you're still watching, no, I'm kidding. But it's important, it's kind of like sharing is caring during this time, and I want people to understand that there are people out there that are taking time out of their day. I mean, you spent an hour with me. If I was somebody that had to pay for it, I absolutely would do a chargeback on your credit card. I'm only kidding. So, Dan, I appreciate you coming on. Dan, do you have any parting questions, Dan?
No. My parting comments is take this time and treat it like a business. Get your business and personal affairs in order today, and come out of this thing like strong. Don't think I'm just starting out. I don't know what to do. There's a ton of content out there. Just take action, put a business plan together, and get out there and start working on raising private money. Because raising private money, you'll control your destiny in real estate, in business, in everything you do. It's so important. I can't stress that enough. The most important thing you can do right now is learn how to raise private money.
So, Dan, if somebody wanted to reach out to you when the Facebook Live goes off, maybe you could just jump on and then just go on to Facebook and then just tag any contact information that you feel is pertinent for people to reach out to you directly.
Sure, it's definitely going to be in the group. Go to my group page because my personal page I can't accept any more people. So I'll put that. I'll put the group page on there. I'll share some free stuff, free links on there. Nothing you have to pay for. You can follow me on YouTube and stuff like that. We're starting to put a lot more of our videos on YouTube, so they stay there, so people can watch them anytime. So yep. I'll drop those links in there. It's all free stuff. Nothing. You don't have to pay for anything. So.
Well, Dan, we appreciate you having me on. As you know, at the end of every show, every live stream, I give people the opportunity to mimic me with the finger. So, go ahead. Let me see what you got. I mean, it's okay.
Oh, come on. I've worked on this for years.
It's a little loose.
Loose.
Get it going hard, baby. Get it going hard. That's good enough. We'll take it. You're a mess, Dan.
I love you, man.
I love you, too.
I'll see you on my page tomorrow.
Absolutely. All right, guys. Until next time, remember, it's not a no until you get a restraining order. Matt Marinoff, Daniel Matthew Zitofsky, ladies and gentlemen.
You're going deep. Love you, man.
Dan, hang on. Don't go anywhere.